Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a What's on my Kindle TBR video to share with you. So on my Kindle, I have a decent amount of books checked out on Kindle Unlimited, as well as books that are ARCs. Now, I usually don't always do ARCs. I don't always commit to them because mostly I don't know if I can actually read them before the release date. I mood read a lot, so for me it's hard to commit to ARCs. But I am part of the Berkeley Influencer Program now. What they do now is they give you the option to download ARCs from NetGalley. So I've downloaded a couple that are coming out in the next couple months, so I'm going to be talking about those as well. Before we dive into all the books that I have on my Kindle, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Pippa Grant. So Pippa Grant has a brand new book out. It's called The Bride's Runaway Billionaire, and this book has some of my favorite tropes I don't always talk about, okay? So this book is now available, so you can grab it in Kindle Unlimited, you can grab the paperback, or you can grab the audiobook, or all of the above, whatever your preference is. This book is a rom-com book where our female character barely escapes a marriage to someone that she particularly didn't want to marry, and she goes to Fiji for the solo honeymoon, that she can't cancel last minute, and there she meets this billionaire, and they have this one-night stand. He's gone the next morning. Now, years later, at her brother's wedding, he shows up again, and that billionaire finds out that they have a child together. So not only is this secret baby, he's a billionaire, he's a celebrity that's been dealing with a divorce. So there are so many things in this book that I think so many people would enjoy. Right now you can download this book in Kindle Unlimited, like I said. It is part of a series. You can read it completely as a standalone. I think this cover is so adorable. I love the purple. It just screams like spring, like it's the perfect book. So if you are someone who likes a little bit of a twist on the whole runaway bride, solo honeymoon, the one night stand trope, the secret baby trope because she really didn't know who he was, the whole I like him because he's my celebrity crush, and the billionaire who's also recently gone through a divorce, so he has a little bit of a past. If you love all of that, definitely pick up The Bride's Runaway Billionaire. I'll have the link in the description box below to grab your copy. But once again, thank you to Pippa Grant for sponsoring this video. With all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into what's on my Kindles. So I do have my Kindle here, but I'm not going to look at the books on here. One, because it's about to die and I have to charge it, and two, it's hard to kind of flip through the books that I have downloaded. It's just easier on my phone. It's better organized on my phone, I should say. So a couple of these books I do have physical copies of, but most of the time I like to read the ebook, even if I have the physical copy, especially if I can get it for no cost if it's in Kindle Unlimited. So I'm going to go through my Kindle Unlimited books really quickly. It's a mix of many different things. There's many different genres and all of that. So the first one is Sticks and Stones by S.J. Silvis and S. Mastery. So I have read S.J. Silvis previously. I love Weekside and Ice Bet. So this was kind of like a shock that her and S. Mastery were writing this book together. It's a first in a series. Obviously, it's a hockey romance. It's a college hockey romance. I love a college hockey romance. It is just one thing that I love to read, just to pick up on a whim and see and just have a good time. So while I have read S.J. Silvis, I have not read S. Mastery, so I don't know her writing. So I'm interested to see kind of how it blends together. I do have a physical copy of this. I was gifted one because I had it on my wish list. So apparently it says, after Ren Davis put my dreams of the NHL in jeopardy, I vow to make her life hell if she ever comes near me again. Apparently, she is his best friend's foster sister, so he can't really get away from her, basically. And now that he's at Shadow Valley University, his roommate is Ren. So not only is this an enemies to lovers hockey romance, it seems like they're forced together and they're roommates, which always love a forced proximity. It makes things very interesting. So it's only 300 pages. I do hope to get to it sometime soon. Like I said, it's been on my Kindle, I think since December. I think I downloaded it in December when it came out because I was like, oh my God, this seems so cool. I think they did announce the second book too in the series, and I don't know if this ends on a cliffhanger and then the next book just follows someone else. I'm not sure, but I'm very interested in that one. Another book that I have downloaded is The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. So I did read Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer last year, And I did like her writing. I was very interested in this book because these two characters you see a decent amount in the previous book. It is a fake dating romance where she fakes date her ex's rival, and he's in pro hockey. So this is not college. This is a pro hockey romance, which I do love those as well. So it's fake dating, ex's rival, golden retriever hero, which is something like I usually don't like, but I'm like, I kind of like that now. Boy obsessed and forced proximity. So I do have a physical copy of this book. I was also gifted this book from a friend, so thank you so much for that. I think it's on my to haul pile. So I'm very excited for this one because I did like Stephanie Archer's writing when I read Behind the Net. Now I'm very interested because this book has higher ratings than the first book, and a lot of people said like you cannot put this book down. You have such a fun time with it. Like it's obsessed and you'll like binge read it. So that all those are like buzzwords for me, so I'm very excited for that. The next one I have, I honestly don't know where I got. Oh, it's a Formula One book, and it's called Falling Off the Cliff by Kathina P. I think that's her name. I think I saw Madison share this because I love Formula One books. Now, the ratings aren't the best. So I have it downloaded. I do like to discover new authors and give them a try, but this Formula One book is 510 pages, okay? Apparently Thiago Valencia is a Formula One legend and is chasing reputation as well as his second world champion title. But he has a tarnished reputation, and his future in Formula One is kind of like iffy, whether I guess they're going to keep him on as a driver. Apparently he meets this woman at a private party at Monte Carlo. I love Formula One though because it takes place across the world. Kamari agrees to be his fake girlfriend. So another fake dating romance. One of my ins and outs was leaving fake dating in 2023. Like I'm kind of over it unless it has a good twist. So because this is Formula One, I'm willing to give this fake dating book a try just because it's Formula One, but the ratings kind of scare me. Okay, another book I downloaded because I don't know where I saw this either was Make You Want Me, and it's called Fight For Me Duet Book Number 1 by L.A. Shaw. The ratings only has 78 ratings. I saw a TikTok of it. Someone was talking about this. This is a fighter romance. So I think he's an underground fighter with like a very dark and damaged past. And she is my brother's best friend and he can't get her off his mind. He is asked to train her in the MMA gym that he obviously practices at. It's only 200 pages, so it's a very quick read for me. I do know this is a first in a duet. So the next book I don't think is out yet. If I'm not mistaken, it's not out yet, but it's new adult. And it doesn't on a cliffhanger. So like their story continues in book 2. Oh yeah, it comes out February 22nd, the second book. So I have it downloaded because I want it to be on my radar, but I die when there's cliffhangers. Like I literally die, especially with the couple. So I try to read it as close to when the next book is going to come out as possible. So I'm like still in the mood to pick it up and continue with their book. So that one's on my TBR. Now I do have in Kindle Unlimited 4 fantasy romances that I downloaded because we all know that I'm in my Romantasy era. I've been reading some really good Romantasy books and just like fantasy books in January already. So I do have The Crown of Oaths and Curses by J. Bree downloaded. This is not a why choose romance, which is why I'm more interested in it. I've heard that it takes a little bit to get into, but it's a really good book. So that is one I am very excited about. Apparently it's a fated mates thing, like the person that she doesn't like, her enemy, I guess. It's enemies to lovers, like hate to love type thing. It is her fated mate. So I always love that. Now it's 663 pages, which I'm like, oh my God, these romantasies are so long. I do not mind if it's long, if it's worth the read. So I'm excited to read that one. I've heard really good things. Another one I downloaded that I'm kind of I don't know if I'm actually going to read it. It's Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. I wanted to read this because she's going to be at a Polycon and I'm actually going to a Polycon. I actually followed her on TikTok when she was just like a TikToker kind of thing. And she was writing this book. And when she published it, I was like, I'm not always the fan of people who think like they're just an influencer. I'm being 100% honest. Being an influencer and then writing a book, like, I don't know. It's just like, did you just have this thought? Or have you always wanted to write type of a thing? So I'm kind of nervous, but the ratings actually are pretty high. It's 4.5 stars out of over 8,000 reviews. So that means a lot of people have read this. And I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give it a try now that this has been out for like a year, I think. It's another over 600 page fantasy, but I'm excited. They're enemies. I guess it's enemies to lovers once again, and just a good fantasy. With fantasy, I like to go in blind. So that's another one that I have. I do have The Ever King by LJ Andrews because a lot of people have been talking about this and I wanted to see kind of where I land, if I love it or if I hate it. It's a pirate romance, I think. He is on a ship, I think. I'm not mistaken, but I wanted to download it and read it because apparently this takes Norse mythology and puts it into a fantasy. So I always love it when there's like Greek gods or Greek mythology, really any mythology, but we don't always see different mythologies. So I'm excited for this one. I've heard a couple of my friends talking about it. Now this one is high on people's TBR and people have been shouting about this book everywhere. Bookstagram, I've seen it on TikTok. I haven't seen it on YouTube yet, but I'm pretty sure the videos are going to start coming. This book literally came out in January 13th. So it's been out for like a week when I'm filming this. It says When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Never heard of this author, but literally people are saying that this book is so fucking good. Like so good. It's over 700 pages, so whatever. It says, When the Moon Hatched is a fast-paced fantasy romance for fans of witty banter and strong, sassy protagonists. Beneath the cover is an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures and a unique magic system and a love that blazes through the ages. I've seen one fan art of the two characters and I'm like, sold. I want to read this literally ASAP. That's next on my list. The next one I have is a bunch of like Mafia romances. So that's my last like category for Kindle Unlimited. I have Forgive Me, which is the first book in a trilogy, and it is a priest and mafia romance. It's 280 pages. Father Francis knows he's damned, but at 24 years old, he has a lifetime to make up for past mistakes. And apparently, Angel has no idea why he's been sent to England other than to stake out a priest for Italy's most notorious mob boss. Literally, it's giving me like Sierra Simone, but make it and that's really why I downloaded it, because I really wanted to see what that was. I do have King and Hans by S.J. Tilly. I am doing a read-along on my Patreon of the whole Alliance series, and King and Hans are the two books that I have left to read, so I have them in Kindle Unlimited. I may grab the audio, but I wanted to have them downloaded, so they're like, when I open my Kindle app, they're there, so I don't forget. And the last one I have downloaded is War and His Queen by Amo Jones, because I liked Fate of a Royal by Amo Jones and Megan Brandy, and this one is 442 pages. I just wanted to see, I want to go into it blind. I know it's a super dark romance, and I want to see what I think about it, because I'm very excited. Also, she's going to have special editions at Sweetgrass and Apollycon. It's like matte black with like glossy black text, and I know Megan Brandy did something similar for I think it was Megan Brandy. Someone did something similar for a previous signing, so I want to read it to see if I'm going to buy it before Sweetgrass or pre-order it before Sweetgrass, because I don't need special editions unless I really love them. You know what I mean? So now we're going to get into some of the arcs that I have downloaded. So I have Happily Ever After by Lynn Painter. I haven't read anything by Lynn Painter, but I've heard really good things about the author. I don't know what this book is about. I'm going to go into it kind of blind, but I've heard, like I said, good things. And she had this special edition, like sprayed edges book at Barnes & Noble that I almost picked up, and I was like, you know what? No, I've never read her. I don't need it. I have The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutano. This is just one that I've heard Lacey at Lacey Book Lovers talk about this author, and I wanted to read this arc and see what it's about. I do have A Promise of Peridot. Is it Peridot? Whatever. By Kate Golden. So I actually read A Dawn of Onyx. She reached out to me to just wanted to like send me the book. I was like, sure, why not? This is when she was an indie author, and I read it, and I said that this has the potential to be a really good fantasy romance series, and now it's picked up. So this second book in the series is coming out. I think it's already out or it's coming out pretty soon. So I wanted to get caught up and have the arc. I also have Funny Story by Emily Henry, because that's one of my most anticipated releases. And when I saw it on Berkeley's influencer, like you can download straight away, I was like, sold, I need that. I also have The Stranger I Wed by Harper St. George. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th book in her series. If not, it's a brand new series. I don't know. I have been loving historicals lately. I did a whole vlog reading them, so I'm very excited for that one. So those are all the arcs I have downloaded. I may add some more. I did pick up a couple of free books. So I have Meet Me in the Penalty Box by Callie Mel, just because that was free. The Witch Collector, which is a fantasy romance. I have the audio through Hoopla by Carissa Weeks. I've heard iffy things, but I'm willing to give it a try. I also downloaded the What the River Knows by Isabella Bonzi, because I wanted the ebook to read, just because it was $1.99 and on sale. And then I got Vampires of Eden by Carla Nicole. I love Carla Nicole's writing, and this is a first in a new like paranormal vampire series, and I loved the Lore and Lust series, so I'm very excited for this one. Those are all the things I have downloaded on my Kindle. I am very excited. My reading switches from I want hockey to I want a romantasy to I want super dark mafia secret society type things to I want something light and fluffy rom-com-y. So yeah, that pretty much sums up what's on my Kindle. You can let me know what a book on your Kindle that you are super excited to read. I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. For the emoji, drop me a high heel emoji. I don't know. Drop me a high heel emoji in the comments down below if you've made it this far. Once again, I want to say thank you to Pippa Grant for sponsoring this video. Make sure you go check out The Bride's Runaway Billionaire. I'll have the link in the description box below. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.